Now, let me start off by saying that this is my review of Warframe Mobile on iOS, specifically on the iPad Pro. As of making this video, Warframe Mobile is not out for Android, so I can only do on the iPad. Also, I would like to mention all the footage you're seeing in the background is from my stream, where I streamed only Warframe Mobile 100%, talked about all of the pros, cons, everything. I'll put a link in the description below to the channel that stream is uploaded on. But without further ado, let's get into it, shall we? Warframe Mobile, actually, I like it a lot, okay? But since I was playing it on the iPad, I knew straight away I needed to use a controller. So that's what I did. I was able to connect a PS4 controller via Bluetooth to it because you can connect PS4 controllers or any Bluetooth controller, I believe, well, most Bluetooth controllers, to an iPad and or an iPhone, and Warframe supports it. Yes, Warframe has controller support. Warframe Mobile has controller support, which I think is very much so needed. Now, as soon as we plugged in the controller, we were ready to go, okay? We could switch back and forth between mobile and non-mobile, which was very good. Now, what wasn't very good is I will admit that I did confuse the game at one point, okay? I went to my arsenal and then I tapped to select my loadout and then I went back to controller and it confused it. So I actually had to restart the game for the first time there. It was a little awkward because it was on stream, but it worked out in the end. But with that in mind, I want to start out by saying this is probably the worst Warframe Mobile will ever be. So because they're releasing updates and fixes and whatnot, and that is pretty brilliant, if I might say. Now, I did notice that the textures in a lot of places weren't as crisp, weren't as, HD, if you will. But I believe that's because of the fact that getting it out there and keeping it a small file size was their priority. And I honestly hope they do decide to update the textures because I could be wrong, but I think to save space, they're using a little bit lower res textures because of the fact that they want it to go on mobile in the little space as possible. And technically, most of the time, the person will be using a smaller screen size. So it really wouldn't normally condone having higher res textures. But with that said, I was playing on an iPad, so I would be fully down for them doing something like making an version that is higher res for the iPad. Maybe like it can detect that you have an iPad and download additional files. Or it can say something like, would you like to download higher res files? Warning you at the beginning, this would take up more space. Like this would take up double space or whatever. I think it would be a good thing. I honestly would be all for that option if it was possible. Let me know in the comment section below if you guys think that would also be a good option. That's also the option I want where there were certain debuffs and debuffs icons that appear next to your health bar. Actually, I enjoyed it quite a bit. It gave me the whole Zelda Ocarina of Time beta vibe type thing. Okay, so what I mean by that is I, like a bunch of people, like to see different things. And then when I see different things, like maybe a beta version of something or whatnot, I'm always like, I want that version. I want it as my thing. And I honestly have no way of telling if I just want it because it's different to me and maybe I don't really want it, or if I truly do want it. But I would like there to be a toggleable option. I feel like that would be great, honestly, because you will see, or maybe you're seeing already, that the icons for the buffs that the arcanes give and all that stuff, they look different. They're like in this little OPEC box or whatever type thing. So, yeah, that is pretty cool. I think that's just me personally. And as for how it runs, I'll be honest, there are some things, like I said, that are pretty buggy, and certain things I couldn't do without a controller, like in operator mode. I couldn't find where to activate my operator abilities, so yeah, and but like I said, what it will ever be, it's getting better update after update. I was able to use cross save to bring my account over, no problem. So that was pretty cool. I got to see the Apple symbol. There was no one else that was playing on mobile with um the games and whatnot. So that was a bit unfortunate. Oddly enough, I was the host a few times, which like one of the things that I thought Warframe Mobile was low priority to be host, so I'm not really sure what happened there. Maybe it was because it was late at night and it had no choice but to let me be host. I don't know, but yeah. There is one more thing we do have to talk about, the battery life, okay? Battery life was not the best in the world, okay? It's not the worst in the world. It's very understandable because this is the full game of Warframe. It's not a watered down cheap imitation or whatever. This is fully Warframe, fully bullet jumping, material collecting, enemy destroying Warframe at its core. Be it a little, less graphic intensive, but full Warframe nonetheless. So that is understandable, the battery life, but still at the same time, to give you guys an idea, I started at 100% and 2 hours in, I went down to about 20%. Yeah. So that's the thing. That battery life, me using the iPad Pro M1 model, it may differ for you depending on what you are using. But final too long, did not read, verdict at the end. Warframe Mobile is cool. It's a good option to have. It's good to be able to, in a pinch, like say I'm waiting somewhere to go somewhere or whatnot, I can do a mission or two. Say I want to log in, but I'm not home. I can just log in on my mobile device. Actually, it uses Face ID to log in, believe it or not, which is interesting. It definitely is interesting. So, yeah, if you've had a chance to check out Warframe Mobile, definitely let me know your thoughts. Comment section below. Like I said, at the time of recording this, it's available on iOS only. So that would be your iPhone, iPad. And with that said, I will catch you guys in the future. Later.